So we're now here at the wellhead of our little ranch, retreat house, and vineyard up in Northern California. And we have a well here which is 160 feet deep. And I wanted to find out how deep it was, what the water level was. And so I got one of these sonar guns that you actually take off in this hole. You point it down there and it's supposed to tell you how deep the water is. But for some reason with this well, the sonar always said it was 45 feet, even though it wasn't true. And we actually ran out of water and burned out the pump. So I decided to find a different way of testing my water level. You of course can drop lead weight down there, and when it gets to the water you kind of pull out, measure the length of the string. Or they have very expensive water level testers where you have two wires going down, and when the lead hits the water, it causes the wires to connect, and you know now you got a circuit, turns the light bulb on, and you know how deep the well is. But that's expensive, and every time you do it you got to lower this thing down and come back in. So on the internet I found a fantastic system, and here's the system. This well is 160 feet deep. My pump is 157. I got 150 feet of PEX Alpex radiant heating tubing. I'll pull this out so you can see it. This is your standard half inch, 5/8, I don't know, PEX Alpex. Not PEX, that's the plastic. PEX Alpex has aluminum between the plastic and it makes it stiff, so it keeps its shape. It's very hard to put a non-stiff tube down this well. This is 150 feet long, and so we put it down the well, but we put on it a pressure gauge that goes up to 60 pounds, which is all I needed for this depth, and we put on a little air valve so you can put a bicycle pump on there and pump this up. So what happens? You put this into the well all the way down, and when it first goes in, I didn't have these things hooked up, so the water level in that tube will be the same as the water level that's in the well. Then you put the pressure valve, pressure gauge on it, put your valve on it, and you hook up a bicycle pump. You pump it up, and what happens? That pump is going to push the water down that tube. And it turns out, physically, that for every pound of pressure you put in that tube, it'll push that water level down 2.3 feet. So if you put 10 pounds of pressure on it, it goes down 23 feet. You put 100 pounds, it'll go down 230 feet. What happens when the water goes to the bottom? You can't push it down anymore, so it stops, air bubbles come up. That pressure will tell you the depth of your well. So this, for example, is showing me 26 pounds of pressure. You multiply 26 by 2.3, you know, you get 52 and a third of that. Work it out, but let's say you got 65 feet or something like that. That means that there's 65 feet of water between the bottom of your tube and the water level. And since your tube is 150 feet long, you know that 65 feet subtract from 150 is going to get you 85. So I know that my water level is 85 feet. And the beauty of this thing is that once you pump this up, it'll stay like this. If the water level rises, the pressure will rise. If the water level declines, the pressure will go down. You can just look at this thing and estimate or calculate the level of your well. So there it is. That's a very simple way and inexpensive way of measuring your water level in a well. Thank you.